Thank you for joining us today. Um, Obviously, I'm here to introduce myself and introduce the service that I do provide. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Obviously, I'll just go through a whole list of my duties, I guess. And I guess if we've got some questions at the end, we can go through those. So first, I'd like to obviously let you know a little bit more about my background, I guess. I'm an Aboriginal woman, so I'm a Narungga woman. My family name is actually from the Narungga Nation, so in the Yorke Peninsula area. But I was actually raised in an Aboriginal community on Nudunjeri land. It was actually, I was raised in the Aboriginal community, which is probably 2 hours south of Adelaide. It's called Rauken, the Aboriginal community. At the time when I was growing up, there was probably about 110 Aboriginal people living in the community, so quite small, quite regional. It's close to the Coorong, for those that might not know where Rauken is, near Meningie area type thing. My employment history, I guess, has been, I was working in the government for 22.5 years. That whole time I was actually employed in the Aboriginal employment and training space. So I've been in the space for a long time, and I've been blessed enough to obviously, when I left the government, to be able to fall straight back into the same sort of services here at CCF. Thanks to Melissa. My title here obviously is Manager of Aboriginal Training and Employment. And I offer a free service to CCF members. And I see myself, I guess, as a connector to a lot of our members in regards to anything Aboriginal, basically. So, and specialising obviously in the employment and training space. So I do a whole range of things. At the moment, for the past year, I've been marketing the civil construction industry to the Aboriginal community. And it's amazing once you get out there into the community, wherever that might be, that there's a lot of Aboriginal people that don't know a lot about civil construction. They know a lot about building construction, and especially the details about what civil can offer. So, and especially going out into the schools, the Aboriginal kids just love it. You know, when you start talking about the heavy machinery and the types of work that we do and how we build the bridges and all that sort of stuff, they just get so excited. So I think I'm in an exceptional position where I can go out to the young kids and start spruiking civil construction. Another part of my role as well is to source Aboriginal people for vacancies for our members as well. So been quite successful with that over the past 12 months. I've worked closely with a lot of members in regards to just sitting down with them and talking about what their workforce needs are. Especially if they know they've got some big jobs coming up, what that might look like, and talking about some of the things that go along with sourcing Aboriginal people, especially those with skills. But we've been quite successful with that, and I'm continuing to do that, obviously. I'm also talking to a lot of employers that are unsure about how to go about employing Aboriginal people, dispelling a lot of those myths that are out there, and guiding them through the process and letting them know how easy it is to actually do. So really enjoying that part of it, especially when we get some outcomes from an employer who wouldn't have even thought about employing an Aboriginal person before. So that's quite rewarding. A lot of other things that I'm doing in between is obviously to try and encourage Aboriginal people to uptake our training that we do here at Civil Train, and just speaking the types of courses that we do, and letting them know that once they do attain some of these certificates and tickets, that the access into this industry becomes a lot easier. So once again, they don't know what they don't know. So when I'm out there speaking what Civil Train does, it's easy to get them into the training. Obviously, we need to also source funding for some of our the Aboriginal people that want to come and do the courses. So there's a whole range of different things that I do to make sure that we get some more Aboriginal people in here doing the training. The other thing is, and I'm really passionate about it, and I did touch on it beforehand, just getting out into the schools. And we recently did like a careers day, and I think if we start early, go along this journey with them, we're going to have better outcomes, which is amazing. So another thing that I've been doing, and I'm so passionate about it, is starting to tap into the universities. I've actually had a request from an employer about an Aboriginal graduate. So I've started building relationships with the 3 universities here in Adelaide, and they're really excited that they have a person, I guess, in the industry that they can connect to in regards to employment options upon completion of their courses. But also, you know, talking about cadetships and internships. So I'm going to start speaking to employers the fact that if they're interested in taking on an Aboriginal graduate or an Aboriginal cadet, that we may have a pool of people to consider. So, and we actually have large numbers of Aboriginal people undertaking engineering degrees, lots of other degrees. Obviously, we have someone doing a master's in engineering as well. So it's an amazing pool of people that we got to hopefully choose from. So, and it's great to see that we can get Aboriginal people into different levels, not just the entry level. So we can get them, you know, from the graduate positions, and then obviously they can take off from there. So I'm really, really excited about that. So Flinders University in particular are really, really interested in forwarding this. So I'm having regular contacts with them, and you know, to the point where I've got a list of students and what they're studying when they graduate. So it's starting to really move ahead, but I can't wait till we sort of you know, get our first student, I guess, into employment or into a cadetship or an internship. So some of the employers that I have spoken to are really keen. There's already some of our bigger companies that already do the employment of graduates, but some of them also find it hard to get a source of people. So for me to be able to be that connector again, to be able to supply them with Aboriginal graduates is just making it life a lot easier for everybody. Also, I'm working on CCF's inaugural, I guess, Reconciliation Action Plan, which is amazing. I think that we need to lead from the start and have one in place, because I've had a lot of interest from employers saying that they want to develop a RAP, but don't know how to go about it, how to start that. So I'm having a lot of fun developing our own and implementing a lot of these actions that we need to, you know, shout from the rooftops and you know, ensure that other members, I guess, take up developing a RAP, which is so important because, you know, we're doing a lot of these works on Aboriginal land. We need to be able to incorporate Aboriginal people, reconciliation into everything that we do. And therefore we're also organising for our members to be a part of cultural awareness workshops. We actually had one planned. When was that?
It was
April?
Yeah, last week I think it was supposed to be.
Obviously with the virus we had to cancel that. We had a lot of interest, so we will continue to offer workshops. Even if there's a workplace that wants to just have their staff do it, you know, we can get our facilitators to go out to that workplace. But so important, I think, that people educate themselves about Aboriginal people. There's a lot of myths out there, like I said before, a lot of misunderstandings, and I think that, you know, doing the cultural awareness is definitely the first step to you know, making reconciliation a better thing for each workplace. So I'm just trying to think.
Just with that, I'd really like to see the civil industry and also the CCF members as well become the leaders in developing and implementing reconciliation action plans, not just something that you keep on the shelf and collect dust. I think it's really important, like Angie just said, we do work on the ground. We want to encourage Aboriginal people and also embed their culture into everything that we do. I think we are in a prime position to be the leaders for this, which is why part of the reason why we did engage Angie when we could snap her up, to make sure that we are doing the right thing and moving forward for the industry.
Yeah. Another thing too, you know, if there's any business out there that's starting a job in a new area, and you're unsure about how to even start the process in regards to, you know, communicating with the local Aboriginal groups, that's where I'd like to be a part of that, to be able to, you know, provide you with any community intelligence that that would be in that region, and connecting employers, I guess, with key Aboriginal leaders in those communities as well. So obviously I'm an Aboriginal person from a certain group, and we're all diverse, we're so different, and we all have different protocols, I guess, when you go into a different community. So I think if you can utilise my services to be able to at least break the ice, I guess, yeah, at least pay that respect and do it the right way.
So Angie's role includes recruiting for any positions that you've got available within your organisation. So if there's an opportunity that you see within either your admin staff or your field staff where you think that, you know, Angie will be able to help, by all means, this is a service for you guys. So it doesn't matter, you know, if you may not necessarily be looking for an Aboriginal person, but there's a high chance that there's someone there that Angie will be able to connect you with. So reach out to Angie and utilise her service as much as you can. I can't reiterate that enough, that it is a free service for CCF members. She is here to help you guys, which is part of the CCF ethos as well, but we are here for you. If you need a reconciliation action plan, if you need cultural monitors as well, Angie will be able to assist with pointing you in the right direction for that kind of assistance. If you've got any issues with any existing Aboriginal employees as well that require a little bit of mentoring, whether it be in their personal life or also in their work life, Angie's here as well to assist with that. It's just a phone call or an email and Angie will help. Don't try and tackle these issues alone, because very similar to Zoom, it is something very new to all of South Australia and especially our industry. So it's here for you guys.
And the mentoring is something I'm very passionate about. I've been doing it for so long. And as an Aboriginal person, it's just inbuilt in you. You mentor whether it's official or it's not. It's just something that we do for our mob. You know, with the people that I've placed already with our members, they've all been mentored by me. People that we've put through training also get mentored by me as well. So, and because I have obviously a vast, long work history, I guess, in the Aboriginal services area, I have obviously a wide knowledge also of other Aboriginal services that I can always refer our clients or our Aboriginal employees to. So there's never really an issue that we can't sort of try and all solve together. But the most important thing is obviously for me is to, you know, work on retention of these Aboriginal employees in our industry. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more than ticking a box.
So we want to create sustainable careers for the industry as a whole, and we see this as a crucial part of it as well.
And, you know, there might be a service that I can't provide, and obviously I talked about the other services, but I really, in my role, I love to promote other Aboriginal businesses that are out there, those that are really doing some good stuff in this space and other spaces as well, like Aboriginal caterers and, you know, in the building industry and other other businesses that are doing their part. If you feel like you require a service and you really want to use an Aboriginal business, let me know. I mean, obviously, I can see that Sue Panagaris is actually...
she's been trying to get in for a while.
Her on the web. Hope she can hear
working. Yeah.
You know, she's got a large list of Aboriginal businesses that are out there. So, you know, I'll be able to connect you, I guess, with them as well.
There she is. I think she can hear us now. So can you hear us? Yay! We got there in the end. Sorry, everyone. Sue's been having some dramas with the audio, but now we've got her. So you might want to jump in. We've just been touching on Aboriginal business engagement. So we've got several organisations within our membership as well that Angie, well, myself and also Simon refer other members onto if they require an Aboriginal business for a particular service. Is there, what other forum is there? So is there something we can go to on the Industry Advocate webpage where there's a list, something along those lines? I'll let you unmute yourself. I'm not touching your screen after the audio dramas we've had. No, nope.
Can we do it?
Hang on, I'll do it. There we go. Try now.
Okay, fantastic. I'm sorry, was I the only one who couldn't hear before?
Yeah.
Everybody else was blocked out. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, so what we have, so my role, just briefly, because I couldn't hear anything that happened before, and I'm sorry, is to obviously look after around 160 Aboriginal businesses in the state and align them to opportunities where the state government funding. So at the moment, I have a database of around 160, but obviously it's a government database. But we also have on the Office of the Industry Advocate website, there is the Aboriginal Business Register. On there, I believe we have about 70 or 80 of the businesses, and we are increasingly putting them on. But what you can do is also contact me directly. If there's work packages, I can certainly align you to those businesses. And it's also, I think, about thinking outside the square. If you've got a work package, but you also look at the supply chain that will help to run the business, which will also then help you to deliver the project. So it doesn't actually have to be a business that's on site delivering. It can be in the supply chain. Who cleans the office? Where do you get your fleet from? Who services your cars? Who cleans your cars? Who does your printing? Where do your business cards come from? Where do your banners come from? It's so broad. And these businesses can be sole traders up to, businesses with $20 million plus turnovers, which isn't huge in the scheme of things, but for an Aboriginal business, that's a good turnover. So they are broad, they are experienced, and they also know they're not going to win business because they're an Aboriginal business. They'll win business because they're the best place to win business.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well. I mean, we also still need to and always remain focused. Like I said before, it's not about just ticking a box. It's about making sure that it's the right person for the right job as well. So we encourage you to invite Aboriginal businesses to tender as well, but there is no expectation there that just because they're Aboriginal that they're going to get the job. You need to choose the best person for the job, same as any interview panel, etc., because we don't want to set unrealistic expectations on any of the community, and also we don't want to tarnish they just got it because they're Aboriginal or for whatever reason. I really would like to see that attitude abolished, and again use the civil industry as a benchmark for that. I think is a great way. Trailblazers we could call ourselves.
Absolutely. And there's so many opportunities for that. And also obviously with what you do, the upskilling, let's not just think of the supply chain as being labour force, work or the labour hours in jobs that nobody else wants. It's about that knowledge transfer, and it's about a career pathway. I mean, Angie and I go way back, and so we're both passionate about seeing Aboriginal people get into those decision-making roles. They can start in a certain place, but then, it's working along till they're a leading hand until they're in a decision-making role. And, some of the businesses have done very well. There's one business, it's not in civil, but, he was a young apprentice, worked in cabinet making, and now, and he said, I am going to own this business. And he did. He worked really hard. He learned, he understood the game, and he put himself in a position where he now owns that business and employs Aboriginal people. So, I mean, that's the perfect scenario, really. It is that the career pathway with the opportunity to see a future where he's a business owner. And I think that's the other thing. The more that civil businesses have Aboriginal businesses in the supply chain, the more the young people coming through are going to say, oh, wow, that's an Aboriginal business. That's a truck with an Aboriginal business name on it. Not just an Aboriginal person doing the job, but it's an Aboriginal business owner. That's what I want to do. And then it just becomes the way it should be. It's just great. There's an Aboriginal business owner over there, the same as there is, any business owner. And I think that's what you're saying. It shouldn't just be tokenism. and it shouldn't be
That's
because you have to. And there's a lot of businesses out there, tier 1s, tier 2s, who are doing it because they want to, not because they have to, but because they want to. And then that's what drives me as well.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's great. Just, thanks, Sue. Just going back, Angie, what are the first steps that you need to do to start the process of developing a RAP?
I obviously, with me developing our RAP here, is to make contact straight away with Reconciliation Australia. I think that's important to be endorsed by them. And once you get in contact with them, what they do is they walk you through the process. They'll send you a template, depending on where your business is at in regards to what level of the Reconciliation Action Plan will be at. But it's such a straightforward process, but your heart needs to be in it. Your business really needs to be in it to even commence it. So you need to be doing it for the right reasons, and you will have support all the way through. And obviously for those little things, I will obviously be here as well to provide you with the service. So I worked with one employer in particular, and we did a lot of work with them. So we were able to incorporate a lot of the stuff that we'd been doing with them into the RAP and some of their future plans as well. So yeah, you really need to have a foresight, I guess, into what you want to get out of this. What does reconciliation mean to you and your business, and how you want to see it move forward, and how you want your business to move forward with it. So, but a really easy process. I think some people think, I don't want to start it because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But there are obviously services out there to be able to help you. And definitely Reconciliation Australia is the best way to go. Some people do their own reconciliation action plans. Yeah, I think, you know, be able to go through Australia is the best way, because you get so much support. You get someone ringing you, you get to go on Zoom meetings and talk about how you're going and all that sort of stuff. So I definitely think that's the best way to go.
And they need to be certified by Reconciliation Australia, don't they? It's not just something that you can develop internally and say, this is what our RAP is.
Yeah.
You need to go through like an audit process.
Yeah.
Is there an audit that happens, like, does it get reviewed often? Or so it does do that?
Even when you're putting through your draft, your development stage, you send through your draft, and then they'll have a look at it and see how you're going, and put you on the right track if you're not, give you some ideas. Obviously it needs to be reviewed. Reconciliation action plan normally lasts for a period of time, and then it needs to be either redone, or you might even want to move up to the next stage, which means that you're incorporating more stuff into your RAP and into your business. So you know, we've got, it starts at a reflect stage, I guess, and then I think it goes up to stretch or whatever it is, and I think that's 4 steps ahead. But for those businesses that are at the stretch stage, they're really doing amazing things. So you'll find that there's, so have a go on the website, the Reconciliation Australia website, and it'll tell you everything. It'll actually give you examples of other reconciliation action plans that are already out there. It'll give you a list of also who has done a reconciliation action plan. It'll tell you what business is actually in there. And it's amazing to see some of these bigger corporations have actually got a RAP in place, and to read what they've actually incorporated into their RAP is interesting as well. So
so you can read their entire RAP as well.
If they've uploaded it, you can have a look at it. So and it gives you great ideas, especially if you're going to start at the reflect stage. It gives you some ideas about what you can incorporate, and it's not, it's not hard stuff. It's like I said, if your heart's in it and you're doing it for the right reasons, all the stuff will become easy for you. And you'll enjoy, celebrating all of our events that happen throughout the year, or putting up signage, or the flag, or artwork, or whatever it might be. Little things like that all go towards reconciliation. So it's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Wow. Excellent. Is anyone, sorry, I haven't even checked the chat box lately.
Also wanted to say too, here with CCF, we have Aboriginal businesses that are members of ours, and they're doing really great stuff. And I look at them and think about a lot of the stuff where they started, I guess, and what they've done with their companies. And we're talking about, the likes of Zancot, Raw, Interact. These are, great businesses that are doing some good stuff. They're employing a lot of Aboriginal people. So, it's great to promote them as well.
Definitely. When it comes to, so for an organisation who's never employed an Aboriginal person before, what measures, is there anything additional that they should add into their day-to-day work schedule? Is there any allowances? So apart from, you know, welcoming with open arms, as everyone should for any employee that they engage, is there anything different that they need to think of?
When I, you know, first am approached, or I approach an employer that hasn't employed an Aboriginal person, I feel like I need to have that conversation to find out where they're at, why they're doing it, you know, whether their heart's in the right place, also whether they're culturally appropriate. The worst thing to do is to put an Aboriginal person into employment where the workplace is culturally inappropriate. The language that's used, you know, the values are different, and they have no clue about Aboriginal history as well as Aboriginal people today. It's almost a disaster waiting to happen. So I always encourage new employees that come to me to actually educate themselves, to undertake cultural awareness competency training, just so that they do understand that, you know, obviously we're all human beings, but there are cultural differences, and if they're not taken into consideration, yeah, it could end up not being a good thing. So
that's an opener for a question from Carl as well. Thanks, Carl. Can Angie help with cultural awareness training?
Yes. Yep. There was an employee that came to me probably 4 days before Christmas, 40-degree heat that week, and he said, look, we've got some downtime, it's too hot to put the men out on site, we want to undertake some cultural awareness. So we were able to arrange it within 24 hours. So we had Jack Buckskin, for those who might not know him, he's amazing. He went down there, down south, and I think there was about 25 of their staff, and did a 3-hour session with them. And they're now wanting to put the rest of their staff through it. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, that's actually not a hard thing to do. And there's a lot of Aboriginal businesses out there that do offer the cultural awareness training.
And you can read all about that in the upcoming edition of the CCF magazine, which hopefully will be in your inbox in the next 24 hours. And it will also be available on the website. So I'll make sure that link is also sent through. That was really good. I was really privileged. I've been privileged several times to sit in on some of Jack Buckskin's cultural awareness training, and he's brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic. So definitely get in touch with Angie. That's something she can help with. Another question, does CCF help Aboriginal businesses tendering processes and producing necessary documents to present a compliant professional image in a response to a request for tenders? So I'm assuming that would come down to industry participation and workforce participation. Yes, that is definitely something that we can assist with. We can provide support documents. Angie can also read over what you've written in your industry and workforce participation plan section of the document as well, and she can provide any feedback. So that's definitely something that we can do. So that's easy as an email to Angie. Another question, can a RAP be used for a business on a national level? That's an Angie question.
I'm not sure. I guess so. I'm not 100% sure.
We'll get back to you on that one, Matthew. So can it be blanketed across, if it's a national organisation, can it be blanketed across, or does it need to be state-based RAP?
I think it's nationally as well. Obviously, Reconciliation Australia, once they put their endorsement to it, it is nationally recognised. So yes.
Excellent.
So just on that, Angie, sorry, ours is national, but it's tailored to each state as well.
Yep.
So it's overwritten nationally and then state derived.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Tony.
Oh, yeah, I should call him Tony as well. Excellent. Has anyone else got anything else that they would like to ask Angie? I'll send out Angie's contact details to everyone who's participated in today, as well as all of her contact details. So by all means, get in touch with her any way you can. Like I keep saying, and will continue to keep saying, Angie is a free service to CCF members. So for those of you who are not a CCF member, absolutely get in touch with me and we can get you signed up. But yeah, so Angie is amazing in everything that she does. I have so much respect for her patience, her diligence, she's just brilliant. So utilize her as much as you can, because I know that I definitely do and will continue to do. So let's make her not get any sleep at all. No, joking.
Make me blush at the minute.
But yeah, full kudos to her. And of course we need to lean on each other as well. So if you've got a story that you want to tell, if you've engaged with an Aboriginal success story, shout it from the rooftops. Let us know about it and we will shout it from the rooftops. Let's set the example for the industry, for all of industry, and say, this is the pinnacle of, we're the best of the best. And if you want some advice, come to us and use us, and yeah, we'll go from there. Excellent. Well, if that's it, I'll thank everyone for attending today and jumping in. We know that time's valuable. I know that working from home is extremely hard work. Stay well and stay safe and look after yourselves and each other as well. And I'll see you all soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.